are more answers than you know.
Found each had multiple stab wounds. Some had defensive wounds, showing they fought with the attacker. And there was no sexual assault. County Coroner Kathy Mabbutt is describing the murders as personal.
Kathy Mabbutt will be with us forever. I just want to say that. She's my girl, along with Ashley, of course. So, all right, guys, welcome to the What's the Obsession live stream. Okay, I knew that was going to happen. Sorry about that. So I said, hold it. Welcome to the What's the Obsession live stream and chat. This evening we are talking about the case in Idaho that took the lives of Madison Mogen, Kelly Gonzalez, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chabin so tragically. And I just want to take a moment to, everybody watching replay, everybody here in chat, in the comment section, any way you're interacting with this video, I just ask that you please be respectful. I do understand that passions are very high about various issues in this case. And so let's all just be respectful to each other. Life is hard enough as it is. And I have strong views on this case, some aspects of this case myself. And while I always allow a range of views and opinions on this channel, I don't ever like to leak comments on the videos. The moderators, they know what to do in chat. If people are being disrespectful to the victims' families or to each other, that's like a different situation. But the reason that I allow that is because what your opinion is right now is important to me and everybody else and to us as a true crime community. So at the same time, when I'm talking about certain topics having to do with this case, there really is no choice for me other than to be really direct and clear on where I stand and what I know. So this might be one of those situations. So I just want to say that up front. And, if you don't like it, then you don't like it, right? But the objective on this channel is to bring the truth to light, to help find justice for the victims, and always peace and support for the families, and to do what I do in my career life, and I have for the past 20 years, and that is to analyze human beings' behavior so we can all learn about each other and ourselves and how to be better together, and also to identify signs of people in families or groups of people that are in crisis before that crisis turns into a tragedy. So thank you for hearing all of that out. And again, thank you so much for being here. So I'm going to start with this. I'm just going to start with this. I'm not going to give you a preview of where I'm going because let's just get it going and you're going to find out, okay? Session. Thanks for taking to watch this video. Why is there no audio on that? Let's see. As the world, or at least the true crime community, wonders if the prosecution for the case against Bryan Kohberger have something solid against him that is going to prove beyond a shadow of all reasonable doubt. All right, give it just one second. If the prosecution for the case against Bryan Kohberger have something solid against him that is going to prove beyond a shadow of all reasonable doubt to the jury of his peers that he is guilty or not of the crimes that he is accused of, we wonder if that solid evidence does in fact exist. Oh, you can hear it? And if it does, what would it be? It certainly could be something like security camera footage placing Bryan Kohberger at the scene of the crime, walking into the residence or leaving the residence. Does that security camera footage exist? As we ask this question, we might get some hints from what Kelly Gonsalves' sister Olivia has had to say. As many of you know, she has been a super sister and a super sleuth herself, as she has found so many details regarding Kaylee's tragic death and the death of Madison Mogen, Ethan Chapin, and Xana Kernodle as well. We thank Olivia for all that she's done, and we hope that the family can eventually find peace. Let's listen to a few excerpts over time of Olivia Gonsalves speaking about what they did or did not know about this terrible crime and how they found out this information related to possible ring camera or security camera footage. Oh my gosh, okay, I gotcha. Wow, I'm so sorry about that, guys. Wow, what a way to start things with a bang. Holy cow. Okay, hold it. Let me turn all the audio off just a second. Okay, I'm so seriously sorry about that. All right, here, let me just get rid of the headphones and then, oh my gosh, I'm so super sorry about that. I've never had that happen. You know, sometimes weird stuff happens when, I don't know. I'm not going to be superstitious. All right, let me just put on my speakers. Close the current live stream. Close my other tabs. Thank you guys for being patient. So much for getting right into it. Geez, the best laid plans of mice and men. No, we won't go into classic literature, I promise. Okay, let's see how this goes. I'm a little scared now. Okay, let's see. Okay. There we go. Jeannie, you're going to text me right away if you've got two feeds going on again, okay? All right. This is Kelly from Watch the Obsession. Thanks for taking time to watch this video. As the world, or at least the true crime community, wonders if the prosecution for the case against Bryan Kohberger have something solid against him that is going to prove beyond a shadow of all reasonable doubt to the jury of his peers that he is guilty or not of the crimes that he is accused of, we wonder if that solid evidence does in fact exist. And if it does, what would it be? It certainly could be something like security camera footage placing Bryan Kohberger at the scene of the crime, walking into the residence or leaving the residence. Does that security camera footage exist? As we ask this question, we might get some hints from what Kelly Gonsalves' sister Olivia has had to say. As many of you know, she has been a super sister and a super sleuth herself, as she has found so many details regarding Kaylee's tragic death and the death of Madison Mogen, Ethan Chapin, and Xana Kernodle as well. We thank Olivia for all that she's done, and we hope that the family can eventually find peace. Let's listen to a few excerpts over time of Olivia Gonsalves speaking about what they did or did not know about this terrible crime and how they found out this information related to possible ring camera or security camera footage. Okay, I'm going to stop this for a minute just to give you a little background. So this is just a 7-minute video that I put together and uploaded last week. Okay, now I know that a lot of the interview excerpts that are in this video, many of us have heard before in different contexts, whether it was the original interview or some kind of remix, whatever the case may be. I put this together for this 7 minutes. Well, with the long intro, it's really more like 5.5 minutes. Together for you last week, specifically with the idea that I was hoping I would be able to talk more about the topic we are going to talk about after this video sometime soon. And fortunately, that serendipitously happened. And yes, it is some of the residential security camera footage. Now, there is only one, well, to be careful what I say. There is only one source of security camera footage that I can give you a lot of information about and stand by 100%. And I think in the information that I can extend to you, you're going to feel the same about it. So keep that in mind and listen to what's being said in this video by the Gonsalves family, please.
My name is Christy Gonsalves, KristiGonCalves.
Yeah, I'm Olivia Stevenson, ALIVEA STEVENSON. Gonsalves is my maiden name. I'm married.
Now, really quick, just take note. I did just flash the date there. This is November 21st. So this is just, 8 days after this horrible tragedy occurred. They are in the Gonsalves family home. And yes.
Everybody good?
No, on here.
Which one?
You, because you have to worry.
Oh, there you go.
You got to get it right. Don't get mine.
I think we got it on the pickup. Good. Okay, so just first off, the map that just came out from police, it gives a little bit of a timeline of where they may have been that night. Does that map mesh up with the timeline that you've been putting together?
Yeah, I'd say it's very close. I'd say if you have any closer details to kind of hone in, 145 could be very vague. Maybe it's closer to, 150. Let us know if you have anything concrete, because right now concrete's what we can go off.
So you heard Kelly's sister right there. Concrete is what we can go off of. And she did a very good job of finding concrete information. So we know that what she is looking for, what she is going to verify that timeline by, is going to be concrete information. What could be more concrete than video footage of actually seeing what was going on in real time at the actual moment in question?
In terms of the details, you said it's close.
Mm-hmm.
Does that frustrate you that it's close?
I do, but right now we're still trusting authorities that, it's not going to be 20 minutes here, 15 minutes here that's breaking this. But yeah, I implore everyone, if they know something different, bring it to the police, because if they want to tighten up that timeline, we stand with that.
It seems like there's this very big gap when it comes to Ethan and Xana. Do you know where they might have been?
I don't, unfortunately. I know nothing about them.
We have no idea where they were, but we do have a pretty tight timeline on Kaylee and Maddie, and it is close to what they are posting, but it is a difference, and that difference actually could be huge. I mean, it could be, it could not be, but 145, 159. So there is, and we have corroborated with my phone records, Kaylee's phone records, the driver that was driving them around.
Yeah, so you
really
have,
concrete.
You have pulled video seeing the Uber driver dropping them off.
Yes.
You checked your phone.
And I just also want you to notice how Christy Gonsalves just said, well, about the driver. Listen to her exact words.
Driver that was driving them
Sorry.
records, the driver that was driving them around.
She says the driver that was driving them around, because they did not have an Uber driver. And I'll go into that a little later. I know I've already talked about this and told you exactly who it was in previous live streams, but maybe some of you didn't hear that, but I just wanted you to notice that. And now the reporter and even Olivia start saying Uber driver, but it was not an Uber driver. You may or may not know that.
Yeah, so you
really
have
concrete.
You have pulled video seeing the
Mhm.
Uber driver dropping them off.
Yes.
You've checked your phone records. You know with
Yes.
timestamps what
Yes.
time they got home.
So just in case you were sleeping there, let's hear that again.
Yeah, so you
really
have
concrete.
you have pulled video seeing the
Mhm.
Uber driver dropping them off.
Yes.
You've checked your phone records. You know with
Yes.
timestamps what
Yes.
time they got home.
Your family's been frustrated with the investigation so far, understandably so. Here we are a week and a half out, and really not much information about this. Does not appear to be a suspect. Tell me, Olivia, what specifically you've been frustrated with, because you did your own work here. For instance, you found video of the food truck, for example, where two of the victims were seen the same night as this killing.
Yeah, I would say, I think that obviously this is extremely personal for us, and we treated it that way from the very get-go. I know how valuable those first 48, 72 hours are. And I can only hope that the police also know how valuable that is, and that they have a lot of information there that just isn't public right now. I will say the one lingering frustration I have is the timeline. I know it's semantics, but my sisters got home at 1:56. It wasn't 1:45. I know it might not seem significant, but when we're looking for camera, when we're looking for dash footage, when we're looking for any of those things, I do feel it is valuable, and they did get home at 1:56. It was not 1:45.
Olivia's absolute confidence that Kaylee and Maddie arrived back home at 1:56 did not simply come from adding up the time it would take to call a ride, get the ride from the grub truck to their house, walk from the car into the house. Remember, she said concrete is what we are going to go off of. So her confidence in the fact that they arrived home at 1:56 tells us that she has seen something concrete that lets her know they got home at 1:56. If there was some kind of security camera or ring camera footage that was close enough to the entrance of the residence that allowed Olivia to know that they got home at 1:56 with such confidence, what other events did that camera pick up?
Olivia Gonzalez isn't waiting for police. She's tracking down her own leads to find her sister Kaylee's killer.
We're not getting any answers, and we're not going to settle for that.
It was Olivia who found the potentially crucial video of her sister and Madison Mogan at a food truck just hours before they were murdered. She also tracked down their Uber driver.
I found neighbors' Ring camera footage so that I can verify that the Uber driver took her home.
And I mean, there you have it, proof positive that she has seen Ring camera footage close enough to the house for her to feel satisfied that the driver took her home, knowing that she said concrete is all that we can go off of, and that she was such an absolute efficient and precise investigator in the tragic homicide of her very own sister, her two sisters, and also Ethan Chapin and Xana Kernodle. May they rest in peace. May we find justice for these victims and peace for their families. Absolutely. So now, Crime Sleuth, are you in chat?
Hello, Hidden Gems. I am with a very important.
I'm sure it is, but thank you, Hidden True Crime. Great channel, but that's not where we're going right now. Crime Sleuth, could I please use, so if you could grab moderators, maybe like Melissa Jade's channel, and put a link in chat, and Crime Sleuth, and obviously Ara. If I'm missing anyone else, you're please run it by me or one of the moderators, trolls. You're welcome to put the link in chat. So I always want to support creators who are, just doing their thing, like with good intentions, like always, always, always. So that's always certainly welcome on this channel. Crime Sleuthin', and I'm not trying to grease you, Crime Sleuthin'. I say I would do that no matter what. Could I please play part of your video that you had posted from last night? I'm actually working on something else totally separate with this case. I I hate using like those buzzwords, but I think it's a really big deal. I think it's a huge deal, actually. And that's going to be revealed in very soon. And you'll understand why I had to be working on that tonight. So I didn't put kind of like my own video together of that still shot from 1112 King Road. And I know that I believe yesterday it was really weird. Okay, I need to back up. Well, first of all, I want to get permission to use that. And I know that I believe she got that from Melissa Jade. Is that correct, guys? So that's why I want you guys to post links to their channels if you don't mind, because I would like to borrow their content. Well, I think I'm just going to do it anyway because I know she's fine with it. Because I just can't find her in chat. Okay. So I'm going to play part of that video first. I'm just trying to figure out the most sensible way to roll out the information and the verification of it. It's not going to take too terribly long because I have to be at work at 7:45. Woohoo! Busy, just like y'all. All right. So this is from Crime Sleuthin. Cute intro. I think I'm going to play it. Oh, absolutely, Mike. I'm sure she did that. She was just like the bomb. She's such a great advocate. I think that word's a little bit overused, but she was amazing. Okay, so this is the
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I appreciate you being here. If you haven't yet, hit the like button for me. I really appreciate that. And if you haven't subscribed, you can do that too if you'd like. I'm starting out with a screenshot from the Linda Lane footage from November 3rd.
So this is what was released. What is it now? The 18th. Well, initially creators, including myself, started receiving emails in very early July, I think right around July 1st, 2nd-ish. I had 8 emails from a particular person. I hadn't even talked about it. I would be happy to show you I don't know if that's what you guys want to see, I'd be happy to show them to you. I just would have to redact the address really quickly. And I really didn't pay any attention to it because I get emails about things that I don't think are real all the time. And I also know kind of the agenda that I have, not like agenda, like manufactured pushing an agenda down your throat, but the items that I want to get to based on the things that I think are important and what I have learned from sources close to the investigation. Now, I don't mean that in the Dateline or Ashley Banfield way. I don't want to go too far into it because many of you have already heard my introduction to the people who I tend to get the information from, and that circle of people or that group of people is always growing as more of the students and sometimes family members from one particular family feel strongly that in the midst of this strict and broad gag order that does not necessarily apply to them, but it does apply to some of them. It just leaves them really not knowing what to do or what the right thing is to do. Sometimes they don't know what to do. Is this a legal issue for me? Or is this is going to be a moral issue for me? So the 2 people that I've talked to most over the past 7 months are 2 University of Idaho students who are Ethan Chapin's fraternity brothers. We're very good friends of him as well as his brother, Hunter. I'm just being careful what I say so I don't say the wrong thing. So that's why I'm just kind of slowing down what I'm saying. And, I've talked about the way that I connected with them so many times. So I don't want to bore the people that have already heard that. Over that 7 months, they have given me a lot of information. And for the first, I don't know, I'm estimating, I haven't looked at a calendar, but it feels like about 4 months, I had absolutely no idea of even talking about them. Like in a video, I talked about, some things that I discussed with them with, like some of the moderators or some people in this community that I'm close with, or that I just end up having conversations with, like on a more one-on-one or small group level. But it was never the intention to try to make content off of what they told me. In fact, I hadn't really even considered it because I actually don't feel comfortable in the position that I'm in right now with telling you information that is exclusive information. It's important to the case. And I just feel weird about it because I don't want to say the wrong thing. I really don't know how to explain it. But that was never the intention. So as many of you have already heard me tell the story, the reason that I did start to talk about them and my connection with them and some of the specific things that we had discussed and that I know to be true from these sources that were extremely close to the victims and the investigation, including one of the victims' families, was because it started to become so upsetting to these two guys that are Ethan Chapin's fraternity brothers and very close to him, and also Ethan's triplet brother, Hunter Chapin, and also Ethan's whole family, that there was this narrative being pushed out. And, Melissa Jade, I was just watching Melissa Jade's live stream a few hours ago, and I said, oh my gosh, like some of the things you're saying, I feel like I'm listening to myself, speaking, because we kind of are using the same language. But that is affirming to me because it's good to see other people, creators, and just members of our community, because everyone is like really valued here. Kind of seeing things for what they are and being able to talk about them openly, like in a common language. And I hope that makes sense. But they understood that there was a narrative being pushed. They were able to identify that it was primarily coming from YouTube. And then they identified, I think it was TikTok or Instagram. I don't know, guys. I am super not skilled at even navigating TikTok or Instagram, let alone trying to make videos for them. So they started talking to me about the kind of disgust and also trauma that they were feeling about what was being said. So specifically, what started all of that was the narrative that was being pushed. And, I think that, I've said those words time and time again, and I'm starting to hear other people say them time and time again. I'm sure they have all along. I just wasn't hearing it, But in this situation, I think that is the most accurate description I can give. And that is that all of a sudden, there were a couple different sources, primarily from YouTube and affiliates of YouTube people, that, all of these students knew about this horrible tragedy hours before the 911 call was made. Well, when I started hearing about this, I just kind of observed it. I never took the bait because I already knew better, because I had already learned far too much from people that I actually literally vetted with government IDs and seeing them, well, not face to face, but over Zoom or Google Meet or whatever it is that we're using to communicate. And it was like an official vetting. Now, I'm not saying that everybody has to do that all the time with anybody that they have speak on their channel to prove who they are, but because of the serious nature of all of this that was going on, and because I also felt like they were disclosing a lot to me, and I just felt like I was kind of supporting them emotionally a little bit. I felt invested, and I had to know that everyone was who they claimed to be, and that I was putting so much time and energy and kind of faith into something that wasn't fake. Because seriously, who wants to be in that position, right? And then I doubled down on that when I actually started talking about it on my YouTube channel with y'all. So when this narrative started being pushed, that among other things, all of these students knew about the tragedy hours before the 911 call was made, particularly to the two guys I was in contact with first, to Ethan's brother, and really his whole family. And also, as I later learned, and I'm learning more and more as time goes on, a lot of people in the University of Idaho community, It was offensive. It was upsetting. It was re-traumatizing. And it was beyond incomprehensible and absolutely amoral that anybody would do that, because their perspective is, and this, I believe this perspective because I've checked it out from every angle, that is categorically untrue, that tons or lots, whatever, whether it's 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 or 60, like, please don't peg me on petty details in what I'm talking about here, because it's not about that. That all of whatever number of students knew hours before the 911 call was made necessarily meant that the two guys that I have a strong connection with, and Ethan Chapin's brother, and, you know, other fraternity members who were 200 or 300 yards away, and all of Xana's friends and Kaylee's friends, that they were starting to hear about this, and they did jack shit, while their brother, their fraternity brother, their brother, if you're, you know, Ethan's sister again, or just friend or peer or classmate, was in that house, either having been passed away or in the process of, and they just kicked back and did nothing about that. And I started to, you know, just listen to their perspective, and I never would have thought about it if they hadn't told me. I don't think I would have, but it was extremely upsetting and disgusting to me, as I hope it is to some of you who are hearing that, because just try to imagine that. And that's when it became not okay to them, that, you know, they felt they couldn't say anything because of this gag order, and just because also of the climate that has existed and that they say has been completely consistent at the University of Idaho since this happened, that, you know, what we want to do is to remember the victims and honor them. And, you know, we really just should let justice play out and just like be good people. And I think it's remarkable, honestly, how that university community and that town community has, you know, stuck to those high morals and values, in my opinion, consistently since this happened. Is all this making sense so far? So when all of that happened, it was a really big deal to them. I can't emphasize it enough. In fact, I learn more and more as time goes on, actually, how much more it impacted them than I even realized, in a really like horrible way. So they were like, you know what, it's our turn to, you know, just get a message out, and all we want that message to be is the truth. And so I decided that I would start talking about the case again, because I took a little break from it because of all of the ugliness that was involved. Because I feel like that's the right thing to do, and that's what I want to do with my channel right now. So that's kind of the backstory on that. So the Linda Lane footage is what Crime Sleuthin was just showing us in the video that I'm playing from Crime Sleuthin's channel. And among those in the University of Idaho community, ever since this video first came out, according to what I know, it seems like a pretty unanimous sentiment among most people. I actually haven't heard anything contrary, that there was something wrong with that footage, that it was just views and clicks and BS and, you know, a dog and pony show, and they weren't even going to pay attention to it. They didn't like have like their spikes up like they did with the you know, people that were saying, you know, all these students knew about the 911 call hours beforehand. They were just like, you know, they shared with me some pretty solid information to make me believe that it was nothing to pay attention to. And I don't even think that's important, because so many people have been able to understand that that Linda Lane footage was something that was real at first, and then was tampered with a little, and then like a whole lot, to the point where it can't even recognize itself anymore. So I don't think I need to get into too much detail on that. So I'm going to go back to Crime Sleuthin's video here.
13th. Now, we've all seen this. This is nothing new. I just needed something up here so I can talk to you for a second and explain what I'm going to show you. Earlier, a screenshot from brand new footage that looks like it's about to be leaked because if you remember correctly, this is the screenshot that we got just before the Linden Lane footage was released. So without further ado, I'm going to pull it up here.
Now, I just want to say that, I heard Melissa Jade talking about that when I rewatched her live stream from last night today. After Crime Sleuth told me about it, it was really the strangest thing, guys. I just opened my computer last night in like the middle of the night because I couldn't sleep. Obviously, I'm always on YouTube. And I don't even remember the channel, Ara. I just opened up YouTube and a channel that Ara was on panel was talking, and Crime Sleuth was on panel, was talking about, I think they played this exact video. Now, my experience of this still photo that we are about to see is a little bit different. And I don't know how to say this other than to tell you exactly what happened. And please don't think I'm trying to say, oh, I think I'm something special, because I'm going to tell you that I had seen that still photo a little bit back. And then again, recently, I'm going to say I could actually find the exact day, about a week to a week and a half ago, when it came up again, and I was made aware of the intention of the person who owned the video footage to either release a still photo, a series of still photos, an excerpt of the video, or the security camera footage video in full. So when last night, after having talked about this with these two guys, and then there's like two other people that are involved because these two guys are not the owners of the video, and knowing that they wanted to just get some information about that video out there, which is why I created and posted that video of Olivia Gonsalves and Mrs. Gonsalves talking about the video camera footage, or the ring camera footage that she believed that she saw, that she got her hands on, as she said showed Kaylee and Maddie getting dropped off by the driver, by the way, who was a younger fraternity student, a fraternity pledge. And it's my understanding and my experience that this goes on campuses where there are sororities and fraternities. You make your pledge due. Well, I mean, some of them make their pledges do absolutely terrible things. Hopefully that doesn't happen anymore, but I know it does. Hopefully it happens very rarely, because that is to traumatize a person. But they'll make them do tasks like, you have to give rides to our girlfriends or the sorority or whatever the case is. So that was a situation. There was not a YouTube driver. So knowing that they wanted to get out to the world some acknowledgement that security camera footage existed, I kind of like, and that they wanted me to, we were talking about how I could help them do that. Cause I mean, at this point, like I'm helpful. Like I want to help them. I think that the truth does need to be told. I made that video to kind of, get us all thinking about it. So when we did see either still photos or excerpt or all of that security camera footage, we'd be like, oh, right. Yeah. That that interview that Olivia Gonsalves did is now fresh in my mind. All right. So I'm going to keep playing Crime Sleuthin's video now.
And I'll go over it with you, and I'll show you the different views in the daytime versus nighttime to show you where the camera appears to be that they got the new footage from. Here it is.
Oh, wait, I just want to say, and again, and Melissa Jade, and I don't know, Melissa Jade and I are planning on talking tomorrow. I'm not even sure how she got this. I was kind of surprised that anybody else had it, but I also wasn't, because you know how things go. But I was like, oh, cool, because they're both channels that I feel like I kind of align with in a lot of ways. So just get out to more people. That's amazing. But I had no idea that anyone other than the owners the security camera footage had access to this. So there are still several things that are unknown, but there are more things I'm going to keep telling you about that are known.
This. That is a screenshot from video footage that looks like it's about to be released. Very interesting. If you look at the timestamp, November 13th, 1:56 a.m.
Now, to me, that's important because that is, of course, the time when, and again, that's why I put together those interview excerpts the way I did, where in each of those interview excerpts, there was 3 of them from 3 different interviews over time. You hear Olivia Gonsalves emphasize the importance in her mind of the public understanding and law enforcement understanding. It wasn't 1:45. It wasn't 2. It was 1:56. It was 1:56. Concrete is what we can go on right now. Okay.
Exact time that the 2 girls, Kaylee and Maddie, were dropped off. That's what time they got home. So I think that was a clue by whoever put this out that they got that view.
Okay, now that's interesting. And it was a clue because the people that I was talking to were my 2 guys from University of Idaho and then 2 other people, one of whom had some level of ownership over this video. It was discussed a number of different ways that this video could be shared with everybody without doing anything that was going to jeopardize. I mean, this is the most important thing. And I can't believe I haven't said this earlier. And I want everyone to understand how important this is to them. And they definitely didn't ask me to say that, but it's clear. We looked at it every possible angle, every possible way of delivering this. So everyone felt like it wasn't going to hurt the chance of convicting the person who committed these horrible crimes. And also it wasn't going to disrespect the court and a number of other things. But obviously this specific time would have been a good one, given that they are certainly aligned with Olivia Gonsalves. So let's just keep listening.
That's a big one. This is going to be really important footage if it's actually released. Wow. So tell me what you think about that. I'm going to show you how figured out that it's legit. Now, I got this from Melissa Jade, who got it from somebody else. She didn't say who.
And I still don't even know that.
This is the camera. Do you see it right above the officer's shoulder? That's the camera that this footage, or the still shot for now, came from.
Wait, really quick. Jeff, I'm sorry. You said this a while ago, Jeff H. And hey, Jeff H., how are you? Guys, Jeff H. also has started a YouTube channel, and he does really amazing kind of specialized work. I don't even know the words to explain it. It's all computer stuff that I never could do. So I also suggest that you go check out Jeff H.'s channel for 100% sure. So if you're not subscribed to Ara, Crime Sleuth, and Melissa Jade, and Jeff H., this is like your lucky true crime channel jackpot night. So go check them out. Jeff, which are you asking about when you say who tampered with the footage? I don't think those that had it even had the ability to do so. So are you asking about the possibility of this 11-12 footage or the Linda Lane footage? I just want to see if I can find, I'll keep playing the video. I'm looking in chat.
Take note of the pattern on the front, the 5 little pumpkins, and the view that the pumpkin or the camera is facing. This is the day of, on the 13th. Such a sad photo.
So let me be clear. What I was saying about the Linda Lane footage is the audio is what was tampered with. You can even you guys have to be able to like see that yourselves. If you, that's just what I believe. I couldn't, strongly stand by the actual video aspect of it because I don't have enough information above and beyond what any of you have about that. Well, or if I do, it's very little, and I don't have a clear understanding of it because I wasn't super interested in it. I mean, honestly, maybe I don't know. I just wasn't. That's just where it was at. But if I'm not answering your question, just go ahead and I'll try to ask more. Oh yeah, it was Lost Souls True Crime. That was a channel that just popped up on my YouTube. I wasn't even subscribed at the time. That's another good one to go check out. Holy cow! Like quintuple jackpot. It was weird. Serendipitous, we'll call it.
This is another view of that same house. You can see it right there in the light blue house. As of that day, everybody nearby, it seemed like. I remember on news footage, everybody was packing up and hitting the road. It was a very scary time. So you can see the police officer down here on the corner. This is Queen Street. And the officer's right at the corner of Queen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Something catches my eye. But J Lord, I thought J Lord, I love J Lord, but J Lord said Kelly and Maddie were no longer in their sororities due to sanctions. So J Lord, okay, so I think that to say that is to get a couple things mixed up. It is true that Pi Beta Phi was currently not in good standing with the university, but they were in good standing with their sorority national headquarters. And the reason they were not in good standing with the university is the same reason many sororities and fraternities, well, sometimes they do really like bad stuff, right? And eventually they go out of good standing and then they lose their affiliation with the university and then you just don't exist anymore. Or you can just, you're just a group of people getting together calling yourself, letters that you don't use in your own language, right? Probably. That sorority was not in good standing, and that had to do with the actions of really two different people. And I put a video or two out about that rather recently. I don't want to go into the whole story here because I don't want to start to hear the conversation that way at all, because I don't think that's the most important thing I have to talk about tonight. I'm not saying it's not important. Xana and Madison did something that a lot of seniors do when they're in a sorority. As some of you know, I was a Tri-Delta, Delta. And I almost left the sorority my senior year. I kind of stayed in there due to my affiliation with the philanthropy things that we did with St. Jude's. And I was very involved with that because I was a philanthropy chair the year before. And I thought it would just be a bad look if I just pieced out. But a lot of my friends did, because now they have boyfriends. They have serious boyfriends. They're not living on campus. They're living, they're living a different lifestyle. They're starting to look towards their future, towards graduation, towards internships. And that draw they had to the sorority or fraternity, which was community within the university, while they were really trying to assimilate, because at that point in your life, for a lot of people, being there for 4 years seems like a lifetime. Now I'm like, I can almost see what I'm going to be doing in 4 years, like it's tomorrow, or what I did 4 years ago, right? So they just did what a lot of people do when they're seniors if they're affiliated with a Greek organization, and that's just kind of fizzle out. And that's true, and that's what happened. Kaylee was still a member of her sorority, and I don't know where. I don't know too much else about that. And she was in a different sorority. And Jay Lord, I love you. I don't mean to, pick a comment, but that's what's up. I just want to get things straight for people.
You can also see the 1122 in the background, the taller white house. The blue house is 1112. That's where this footage is.
So you got that there. So the blue house is more in the forefront, where you can see the little kind of porch balcony. I don't know if you guys can see my cursor or not. There's a truck kind of right in front of it. There's the door and then a window and a window on either side. Like, it looks like a cute kind of little house, although it is a 6-bedroom house. That is 1112 or 1112 King Road. That is the house that the PCA mentions that was 50 feet away from Zanakernodle's, I think they say the west wall, and it picked up the thud and the possible whimpering sounds. And this is also the house that has that still photo that is starting to move around a little bit now, that I can tell you, and I would never like just say something like this plainly. I would say, I think that this is legitimate for the following reasons. I try to be clear on when I'm saying something that I have learned to be true and have been able to verify versus speculating. And I don't always do that because I'm a human being and I'm not perfect, but I try. But I'm letting you know, especially with this, I'm being very careful about what I'm saying. And that still shot is, it is. There's a still shot and that's it. And you just saw it here on Crime Sleuthin's channel. I've got it, and Melissa Jade had it on her channel, and I don't know where Melissa Jade got it from, and maybe other people had it. I really just don't know about that.
Likely coming from. And then the red brick buildings in the back are the Queen Road apartments. And let me show you the next photo here. 1 second. Oh, and you can also note, before I forget, the vehicles are the same. Here, the black truck and the white truck are also in that nighttime photo. One moment. Okay, here's just a little bit more of a close-up at a different angle where you can see the little blue house with the 1112 with the 1122 King Road house behind it. This was the very next day on the 14th, actually. And if you look at the front, you can see what's missing. The camera is no longer there. You can see the same black truck parked in front. One moment, let me pull up the next.
Now, that is all true. The camera was no longer there. And it is true that apparently law enforcement did take the actual camera. Okay, so my house in the front, I use Ring camera. And it's my understanding, if ever, law enforcement needed the footage that my Ring camera records, I don't think they'd actually have to take my Ringer. I think that, it would be like a digital situation, right? And I would still also certainly have or want to have access to my digital situation because it's my digital situation that is my footage of my home. So I don't really know enough. I don't know, maybe someone like Jeff H would know about the difference between different types of security camera footage. That is definitely not my area of expertise whatsoever. So if anybody does have expertise there, please let me know why they would actually have to take the what looked like a light bulb rather than getting it digitally. But that is what happened. And then also the people who own the footage in the residence have a can I say how they have a copy as well? I'll send a text and find out what I can say. Okay,
that's fine. All right, now just for further reference to see the two homes close together, the camera where this screenshot came from, where the footage is likely soon to be released or leaked, I should say.
I just have to say, I'm not going to pin the comment, but I by no means believe that Sleuthy would do that. So if you're going to, and no disrespect to the person who said that, and I don't even want to say the whole thing, but I very much respect Sleuthy. And if you are going to start something that, please, you're going to need to state your source with it, or just, if you don't, well, not if you don't mind. I ask that you please refrain from saying things like that if you're not going to include a source.
The camera's on the other side. This is the back of the home, and the porch and the pumpkins and everything are on the other side. All right, and this is a little bit of a different angle, so you can see the street. That's Queen Road, with, again, the back of the light blue house. Cameras are on the other end of that house.
Guys,
on the
listen, wait,
front.
I just got it. Sleuthy was approached by somebody who was, it's very clear to me now. It's clear to her, I believe. I don't want to speak for her because I haven't talked to her about it. I did see a video she did about it. And I have found her to be nothing but a credible source. And honestly, until super lately, I've never heard anyone have any different impression of her because she is somebody who is incredibly detail oriented, in my opinion, honest and consistent with what she puts out. And I've got to say that I was contacted 8 times by the same person who I did not respond to even once. In that same time period, they were contacting Sleuthy. Sleuthy's just Sleuthy, and she's really good at managing all these things that she does. I just don't, I'm either just not good at it or I'm just overwhelmed by the amount of communication I get in my Watch the Obsession channel. In addition to my job as a behavioral therapist and being a single mom, I just can't keep up with it. So I didn't even realize, I looked at the emails. I didn't even realize what they were going towards. I've taken a closer look at them as of recently. And if anyone was in Melissa Jade's live stream earlier, you know who I think sourced them, but we don't have to talk about that right now. But Sleuthy just received information. The person sounded like they needed help. Sleuthy is a very compassionate and helpful person. Until recently, she hasn't even gone all in on any true crime cases. She's mostly involved in helping to find missing and exploited children. That's her deal and consistently has been. I first encountered her on a channel that is completely focused on that. And I was surprised when she started to show up more in the true crime genre world.
Okay, and switching back to the leaked screenshot of footage from 1:56 a.m. on November 13th, 2022. So you can see the front of it again, the view from the camera. Note the black truck, the white truck, stuff like that. It is the view from the camera. But where is the video footage? Okay, here I put the daytime one on top of the screenshot so you can see white truck. And here is the black truck. So now we await the release of footage, and I'm very interested to see it. So what do you think about these leaked audios and videos and such? Do you think that they're being leaked or something, maybe by the defense? Or I don't know. What do you think?
So listen, I don't want any more
logically you would think that it would be something to maybe get.
So just moderators, a person who's and you're welcome to express your opinion, but I don't want any more accusing people of doing things that there is no evidence to show that they did that. And I just asked, if you're going to say something like that on this channel, you're required to provide a source, and you have not done that, so you just need to stop.
A narrative out there, and I'm not really sure. The Linda Lane footage.
Thank you, moderators.
As I've said before, the video appears to be completely legit on all of those 4 videos, maybe even the 5th. But the audio, nope. They played with that. Whoever released that played with that audio, in my opinion. The question is why, and what are we going to hear on whatever gets leaked?
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you this right now. So you have been forewarned. Okay, so I'm trying to say this so it's accurate and precise, and then I'm thinking of possible ways that. Okay, so if there is more of this source of security camera footage that is released, the person who owns this footage does not believe, and I really, Melissa J, need to talk to you because But because they're I don't know. I don't know if I even want to say this right now on a live stream. But okay, the person who owns that footage does not believe that other than law enforcement, anyone other than the owner of this footage should have any video from this security camera. Okay, does that make sense? So now understanding that, that's fact number one. The person who owns this security camera footage is not going to be releasing any audio if they choose to release excerpts or well, they are not going to release in full the video because it's just too that just conflicts too much in their mind. And I agree with justice and what's going on in the spirit of the gag order and a lot of things. But if there are excerpts released, they have definitively decided, and this is in part under the advisement of legal counsel, they will absolutely not be releasing audio with it. I can't imagine anything that would make that change. So I would suggest, this is just my thought on it, and maybe something has happened that I don't know about or we don't know about. Crazy things can happen, certainly in this crazy world. If you do start to see video excerpts of this security camera released with audio, and especially if it's shocking audio of terrible sounds the family members would never want to hear unless you want to like really destroy what is left of their hearts and souls, you know it's fake. So there's a clue right now. There's a clue right now. There's your ace. Thank you, Crime Sleuth, and thank you for allowing me to play that. Just want to look at a couple. Okay, Linda Lane footage, cool. Yeah, and she says, I love Jeff H's video enhancements, and that's one of the many reasons I think you should please go check out Jeff H's channel. So Jeff H, I'd be super interested to hear. I don't know if you'd be willing to come up here. You know what? If anybody does want to come up here, if you have something to say, and please, like that's like you feel is really relevant to what we're talking about right now, because I can't do a long panel situation tonight. You're welcome to come up. And Jeff H, I don't know if you'd want to do that or if you can chat, however, but I'm very interested in knowing, it seems like you believe that the Linda Lane footage was not tampered with. And it seems from what I've seen of what you've put out that you are extremely knowledgeable and talented in this world of video camera stuff. See, I don't even know the terminology to use. So your opinion would be important to me and a lot of other people. Dude, no, I'm sorry. So I don't know if you guys already got rid of that one person, but I thank you if you did. I can't sometimes tell if I'm watching, if I'm looking in StreamYard, but I mean, seriously. Grow up. Okay, so Jeff says, I don't believe that Kane, who is the owner of the properties that the Linda Lane footage came from, and again, that's separate than what we're talking about right now. This new picture, okay, that was, you know, where you saw the one that was called Dumpster and another one from the parking lot. Kane is the owner of the property. So he says, I don't believe that Kane or the other person Melissa mentioned today have the ability to tamper with 4 hours worth of footage. Okay, I would agree with that. But I mean, I think that maybe the, you know, secondary recipient of that footage might have that ability or might know somebody who has that ability, especially, you know, or I think, you know, my big, I guess, point there is that it's very clear that the audio is tampered with. And I feel like that wouldn't take too much talent. I don't know why Kane would have interest in doing that. I never thought that he was the one that tampered with it. But I mean, do you guys know who the next source to have that video footage in their possession was after Kane? Because I'm a little bit unclear about that, because I have some videos in my inbox that I told you I just didn't even pay attention to. I haven't even watched them all the way through. That might be interesting. And I don't know if a bunch of people got that or if there's one. I really just don't know. The situation became a little confusing to me, but you guys might know better. Thank you very much, Riddler. I appreciate that. Okay, Resi, good. Let me move on to this very important point. Okay. Resi says, and welcome, Resi. So this camera would definitely catch the suspect's car. It seems like it would. So let me show you a couple things here. And again, I'll just put the link up if anyone wants to say something. And if you don't, that's totally okay too. I always feel like there can't be silence when I'm like looking for something, but there's gonna have to be. And then some people are like, oh my God, your voice is so annoying. You know, you don't have to talk all the time. You know, you say documentary wrong. Do you know that you spelled that wrong? I know. Thank you guys so much for helping me make those improvements. I appreciate it. Well, yeah. Hi, Mary. How are you? Would imagine they were no longer in their sororities because they graduated. Are you talking about Kaylee and Maddie? Well, actually, I mean, if you're in a sorority or fraternity, like I still am a Tri Delta, like you consider yourself as being a member for life if you don't deactivate is the proper term prior to graduating. But hi, Mary. I mostly want to say hi to you. Oh, thank you for posting that link. I do have a little bit of exclusive members Idaho material, not a whole ton. Oh, here comes a honey bun. Okay, so Tucson, I just want to say this really quick. Tucson says, teacher, I'm guessing the coroner timestamped length, but unfortunately the coroner is very inaccurate. I mean, and some of you told me you don't think this is a big deal, but I put all the short little video. I feel like I'm always saying that, but I don't know. Just like I like to spend a lot of time making videos, which by the way, I didn't even know how to do 2 years ago. So I'm just always practicing, and thank you for telling me all the ways I can improve. You know, on the document that was included on the official press release regarding the coroner's, just kind of basic information report, I heard reporters a couple times say, the manner of death was stabbing and the cause of death was homicide. And I think like every time, well, not every, I don't know, a few times I heard it and it registered as like not easy on my ears. And so I started to think about it, I guess. I was like, wait a minute, oh my gosh, where did all these reporters get that from? Are they all, Ashley Banfield's understudies? I'm just kidding, Ashley. You know I love you. But then I looked at the document and the coroner has, I just find this incredible. I don't know. So we're like, it's really not a big deal. It's, the cause of death is homicide and the manner of death is stabbing. Well, first of all, the manner of death is going to be either, natural causes, accident, suicide, homicide, or there's another one I can't think of it right now because I'm a little tired. It's late. And the cause of death, I don't know if stabbing is what would, I don't know. She screwed up on the report, and I think that is careless and disrespectful. And I say that in combination with the other things that I thought she was a little careless and disrespectful on. I don't think she seems like an ill-intentioned person, but I think with a job that has that level of importance and prominence in a community, you really need to be on your A game. And it's just my personal opinion after making those mistakes so many times in this case that it would be appropriate for her to step down. But, who am I? That's just my opinion. I don't even have anything to do with this community. So, all right, I'm going to be bringing Honey Bun up on the stream and also Crime Sleuthin'. So, hey, ladies, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm good.
Can you hear me?
Honey Bun, Crime Sleuthin'.
Can you hear me?
Oh, no, I hope it's happening again. You guys can hear them, can't you?
I'm here.
Say something when you
Hi.
Okay, yeah, okay. You just keep
Can you hear
talking.
me
I'm
now?
going to have to fix something because this happened before, too.
Well, I
Let me just make sure.
can briefly
That you're done
explain.
talking. I don't know what the heck is up.
I can
Oh, no,
briefly
I forgot to
explain
switch
about.
my streaming computer again.
Can you hear me, Kelly?
I'm on like my. Guys, I've been busy. That was a silly thing to do. All right. It's this computer just isn't as capable as I need it to be for a good stream. Okay, you can hear them. Okay, talk amongst yourselves. I just got to make some adjustments, okay?
Okay. Hi.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just wanted to explain to everybody really quick. So.
Oh, honey bun just dropped down. Oh no. Crime Sleuthin, I cannot hear you. So you're on your own for now. Entertain the people. No, can you tell us do you know anything above and beyond? And again, I can't hear your answer. What you had already said in the video that I played, and again, thank you so much, about this new still photo from 1112 King Road. Do you know anything more that you would like to share with people, I guess, is the question I'd have for you.
About this photo? No, I do know that there's another one that's another screenshot that's been released from the 13th, and it's timestamped of 6:37 a.m. with some teaser text with it that says they have the next day's footage. So that's going to clearly be released as well. Yeah, so we're going to get this from the night before from the other house next door, and it looks like we're going to get more Linda Lane footage. But what I wanted to explain real quick for everybody is the videos appear to be just fine, but the audio, pretty much anybody who has a channel and makes intro videos and stuff like that, we add our own music and sound effects and things like that to our videos. Pretty much any one of us could do any kind of audio changes to any video. I could literally pull up my screen share and pull up my software and show you with some Linda Lane footage how I can add voices and screaming way in the background in like 5 minutes. It's really easy, because all these little software programs that you use to make your videos, they have all the different music and sound effects, and you just type in what you're looking for and you've got 100 clips to pick from. It's not hard. So I don't think that the owner had anything to do with any alterations. Whoever, before they uploaded it, they cut it into 1 hour segments, and then they kind of played with the audio a little bit. I think some of the audio in there is legit. Like, what is it? Trying to remember the time. Can
you hear me now, Crime Sleuthing?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, awesome. All right, good. I fixed that. Okay, very good.
So around, you couldn't hear anything that I just said?
No, I couldn't. I'm sorry about that.
Okay. I'll briefly repeat it really quick for you. I was just saying that everybody who has like a YouTube channel, for example, we make our own intro videos and the videos that we put up and all that. And we know how to do audio. So we can add music, sound effects, cars, arguments, music, screams, whatever, way back in the background. And I could literally do a screen share and show everybody how simple it is. It takes just a minute.
And like I was saying, I literally did not know how to even like navigate YouTube, or let alone create a short video 2 years ago, or a little over 2 years ago. And just in that time, I mean, I now can, if I need to, work with the audio. So, I can, isolate sound, so I can turn down, like if there's several people talking, I can turn down, what would be the main person talking for almost everyone listening. So I can hear a person talking quietly in the background to try to hear what they're saying, and I can't believe I can do that, but it's obviously not that hard if I learned how to do it in a short time like that, so
awesome.
I'm not professionally trained by any means. So people can do that for sure. I agree with you.
Yeah. So I know, and I think that, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Some of the audio in them is correct. Like there's one part where you can hear the, at the exact same time of the Banfield body footage, where we can hear the officer lock his car.
Mm-hmm.
That's on this footage on Linda Lane.
Sure.
At the same time. That's correct. That's fine. But some of the other stuff, I think they're messing with people's minds.
Yeah.
The question is why. That's what I want to know. Like, who's doing it and why? But
I mean, I know who's doing it and why. Like, here's like, I just have a short answer to now, and I'm just gonna be frank, because I just like don't, I think that, anyone who's been, part of my channel community knows that like justice really is important here and the reasons why, and supporting the victims' families is really important. And we do that actively for a number of victims' families, and why that is, and how, like these things are for real. And to like, I got into the point where to just like kind of say, oh, like for myself, yeah, I do. I wonder, like, and I'm not saying you're doing this. I'm just thinking of what, my tendency is to want to do. Oh yeah, I wonder like who did that and why they would do it. Like, no, I'm pretty sure I know at least 2 sources who did it. One of them I'm actually 100% sure on, and I'm not going to say anything more about that tonight. I might say more about it sometime because I actually have a lot of material that I was talking to one of my moderators, Jeannie, earlier. Guys, I keep everything. My cloud like circles the earth 15 times, like my dad. I from every case, because, well, especially most recently, I had a catastrophic hack during the Kylie Rodney case, and that really changed how I approached everything.
It did for me too. It really did for me too, because that
Yeah.
was when I became that's when I started my channel during that case. And
Yeah.
the things that I saw and the misinformation that I was sucked into, it's embarrassing to me to think back to,
everyone, you want to trust people, but just for those of you guys, you know who you are, who are listening. If you've done something in the past that was really like atrocious and I'm just talking about the true crime world that you're ashamed of or should be ashamed of, and you're like, man, I freaking hope that doesn't get out now because my current viewership would not be down with that. I just, please don't go to bed worrying if I have that or not, because I assure you I have the anthology of it. Okay, so I don't know, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, I mean, for me, it was the Kylie Rodney case, and like there was a certain creator that had, a bunch of us convinced about.
Yes, I know.
I know. I fell into that trap. But then once I got away from that, I was like, I really don't want to put out anything that I haven't, really checked and vetted myself. And so that's just a promise that I made to myself, and I think I've done a pretty good job. So
I absolutely agree with you. Yeah.
You're doing all right. It's a little bitty channel. Like what? You've got like 11 times more.
I don't even know.
That sounds so unmanageable.
It is. And when people, and I do appreciate feedback for sure. And sometimes it comes across in the form of criticism, whether you mean it or not. Ultimately, it's all good because it's just fine. I mean, but I really am. I am a one-woman show doing everything on this channel from A to Z, and it is becoming a little amazing. Anyone out there is looking, to just maybe get a little side gig, being more involved in a great true crime YouTube channel and call my own channel that, because I try to make it great. Hit me up.
Exactly. Yeah, I think you're doing great. If you're doing all this by yourself, wow. Because a lot of people, once they hit, 20,000 subs, they'll like have somebody else do a whole lot of their editing or research and things like that, because they don't have time.
I don't, a couple people help me out, and, Jeannie Ramsey is somebody who is just such a great researcher, and she's tried to help me out in a number of ways, but I'm an only child. I'm a single mother. I was a sole proprietor for a while. I am very bad at asking for help or accepting help. And that really, truly is a weakness. And I mean it. So, even somebody who's really awesome at things, I couldn't just let her write something and then read. I just can't do it, but I need to change that. But that's, you guys don't want to hear any more about that. It's boring.
I think I've had to learn how to accept criticism, even rough criticism. Like
that's hard when you first started
without deleting them.
Yeah.
Okay, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. They said, whatever, they disagree and they think I'm stupid.
Here's how I look at it. Here's how I look at it. I've always, I delete very few comments. I was just saying this to Jeannie earlier that you can find, I don't know, so many comments on my own channel that really just trash me. And the reason I leave them is for this. So what I saw with, the Watts case was people would come in guns a-blazing with what I sort of consider to be, I wouldn't call them ignorant, but kind of an ignorant perspective, or they would just be really nasty to each other. And, if, I just addressed it, being accepting of how they were feeling and, listen to them. And sometimes I could concede to some of their points, or sometimes I could say, you know what, you're right. And I was wrong. And I say on my channel all the time, I've been wrong before, I'll be wrong again. And I could be wrong now, unless I know I'm not wrong. And then I'll tell you, I know I'm not wrong. And then I really know I'm not wrong. But usually there's a possibility I could be wrong.
Exactly.
So I've seen how just allowing all of that to exist has, and people have, then sent me letters, emails and stuff talking about how it was this huge change for them to be able to change their mind by interacting with the community. And it's not about me or my channel. It's about that person interacting with the community and seeing a change in themselves. And I just think that's a beautiful thing for people. And that is only going to happen if you allow them to be what they are. That's how I feel about it.
Exactly. And to just stick to your own inner ethics, for me, I'm very much a victim activist, and I'm also against wrongful convictions. So
yeah, that's great.
So there's that, both ends of the spectrum,
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's great. That's
DC
good
prime
stuff.
time is correct. Know better, do better. So, and I'm constantly learning.
That's awesome. I did with my channel. I don't know. I wrote a mission statement when I started my channel, and I've edited it really because I found a couple typos, and I just stick to it. And if I ever am like, is this content I want to create for this channel? I literally will go back to my mission statement. If it's not aligned with it, I just have to scrap it. Even if I think it would be wildly successful as far as views, I simply will not do it, because if I cross that line myself, then I who's going to uphold any kind of standard for my own channel? It's kind of
exactly. I've made a few videos and then never uploaded them because I was just not I think that one went too far, No,
I think that's a really
far down the rabbit hole.
I think that's a very good thing. Just to be
have that it's that's 8 hours of my life I'll never get back, but
right. So I know, because it does take a long time. So I wanted to show people so gosh, who do I say? Okay, so you heard who do I say? Okay, so you heard in the very beginning of this live stream, I played those video excerpts from the Gonsalves family, mostly Olivia, talking about, oops, can you still hear me? Yeah, I'm sorry. I have a bunch of myself up here now. Can you hear me, darling?
Oh yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talking about, the necessity for that precision. They were home at 156. Concrete is what we can go on. It wasn't 145. It wasn't 2. And she says, in the end of one of those interviews, that she got her hands on some Ring camera footage, and she incorrectly says she could see when and that, I can't remember her exact words, but that was the point, the YouTube driver brought them home. So this is that footage, and that does exist on this footage. And the fact that the driver and that driver's car, and it can be seen rather clearly, the distance isn't as far as you would think. And I'm going to show you the perspective from which you can see that. I think that people probably were able to deduce that anyway without, me having to say anything. But if you weren't, that is one of the significance qualities of this video. But that, I'm going to tell you, is not, it's super significant because it gives comfort to the victims' families in that regard. But as far as evidentiary value towards this case, that is not even in an appetizer or a sorbet to cleanse your palate. This is not nearly the biggest deal on the video. So
exactly. I had kind of a thought about this screenshot, and this is completely just a theory. I wonder if they put that out that time to match what Olivia had said, that it was 156 and the time was underlined. Mm-hmm. I'm actually wondering if this is a snippet that somebody received, hey, this is what time they got home, y'all have it wrong or whatever.
Oh, that's
got into the wrong hands.
That's really interesting, because I know that the people who were intending on releasing this, like I said, probably this week, and they were caught off guard that it showed up on your channel or Melissa Jade's. And I'm just like, okay, whatever you guys say, because this is not mine, and I'm just helping facilitate this. They were surprised somebody else had it. And what's interesting though is, the one of the, I guess, two preferred introductions as far as introducing the public to the fact that this exists and this is the potential of what it could see was exactly what you have. So that's confusing to everybody, including the owners of the video. And definitely to me, because I don't know anything. If they don't know, I don't know, because the only thing I know more or different than what anyone else would know is what I've learned from them, so that's interesting though. That's a good theory. I haven't even come up with a viable theory, so that's the only one I have so far. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I try to why that time,
Right.
So I think that and it also kind of puts the feelers out, like, hey, hey, we really do there really is footage of him doing that 3-point turn down there,
Yeah.
So we get to see that.
There is that, and there's there is that, and there's also some other booms.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I think it will be revealing. I mean, who do we see walking, for example? And I know the video will be analyzed up the wazoo if we get to see any of them. But it's interesting. That's fine to look at the videos. I really want everybody to totally understand, to completely not trust all the audio.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, and that was precisely why. That was exactly. I love that you're saying that, because that was exactly again why they were intent on there will be no audio with it, because we understand how easy it is to tamper with that, and the whole purpose of putting this out there is to, in a way, counter that which has been sullied as far as integrity and accuracy and reflection of what really happened that night, and a crime that is. They couldn't possibly be closer to these people, So that's a very, very good point. And then, now, go ahead.
I'm sorry. My internet, for some reason, always puts me on a delay. I'm either a little bit ahead or a little bit behind whoever I'm talking to. And I hate that, because sometimes it makes me sound like I'm talking over people.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I just muted for some reason. I don't know. I may have hit it. I'm clicking around here. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. That was just my fault.
No, that's okay. No, I had started talking, and I heard on my side you were done talking, and I started talking, and then it's a mess. It's a delay. But I don't mean to talk over you.
No, you're good. You're totally good. And actually, I'm grabbing a couple things right now. If you have something you want to discuss for a moment, I'm a terrible multitasker.
Oh, you're fine.
I know. I'm like, you're putting me on the spot.
Sorry, girl, I can always think of something to talk about. Especially in this case, it's so prolific and insane, and we have all these little bits and pieces of information, and the PCA and clues in the documents, and it's just very fascinating. I really look forward to the trial. I really, really do.
Yeah.
My first big trial that I was just totally obsessed with was the O.J. Simpson trial, and I've been hooked ever since.
Me too. I remember I was in Spanish class when I was a junior in high school, and they read the verdict over the loudspeaker, and I've always been really passionate about true crime, I'm telling you.
So you were in junior high, and I was a young mama.
Aww. And when they read the verdict, I just slammed my head on the desk and started crying. And I mean, some of my classmates from high school, to this day, will pick on me about it, because I had a very dramatic reaction, but it was a very real reaction. I was like, this is so effed up. I just couldn't stomach it.
Yeah, I totally get it.
Because I felt like he was guilty based on what, and then this is just me and my, whatever.
And then he comes out with that book, If, little bitty, and then I did it in big letters. Wow. That was just so disgusting, I thought.
That was, I mean, that to me, if, I always believe that he committed the crimes. Obviously, they're horrific, egregious crimes, but then that book just, any, leeway or compassion, one would give him. In my opinion, that just confirmed that his heart is filled with evil.
Yeah. Terrible.
All right. And again, normally I would have some things like put together for you guys, but whoops, that's weird.
Okay, so is never mind. Yeah, that's not them. Okay, nope, not them. Okay, what do I chat about? Well, I mean, you guys have never seen me before, so I see some people in chat that I know. But my name is Debbie. I live in Oklahoma, and I'm a mom and grandma. And I've been into true crime for, God, I was raised on Law and Order and, the original Law and Order, Columbo, all that. I'm 50 years old. So I've just been into all of that stuff my whole life. And I don't like the gruesome stuff, but I really like helping put out the word, when like there's a missing person, the Carly Russell thing. Oh, don't even get me started on that. But
I gotta tell you, honey, this is as gruesome as it gets.
Yeah, this is as bad as it gets. Yes. I pray to God that nobody ever leaks any of those crime photos. I'll hunt them down and slap them myself.
No, that would be freaking. I hope so too. I mean, my God, no, I don't think I could even look at them personally, and I can typically certainly can stomach that stuff, but I would not want to see them personally. Would you? No,
if you're, because I feel so close to these kids,
Yeah,
we all actually care about these victims, and I don't want to see them like that. I want to remember them happy and living and enjoying life, and know that it's over for them, but there's going to be justice. I really, really pray.
Yeah, totally. No, I agree with you. So I'm going to go over just some pictures, the stuff that I'm trying to get to, because I didn't have any prepared content. It's just, it's getting too late. I'm going to have tons more for you, promise. But so, here is just a picture of the house. Can I make this bigger? I'm not sure if I can. Shoot. Maybe I can. There we go. Okay. So here's a picture of the house. So if you're looking at and this is simply from Truly or something. If you're looking at the house from this perspective, so here we're looking at, I'm sorry, 1112. I keep wanting to say 1122 King Road. And if you look, up and to the left side, you're going to see 1122 King Road. Now, from this vantage point, I personally feel like when I first saw this, I was like, that's got to be more than 50 feet away. But when you see how deceptively big this house is, it looks like it's not as big as it really is. From the other side, it is 50 feet, and many of you probably already know that anyhow. So the camera footage was on this side of the house, between the door and the camera is on the right when you're looking at this picture right here. Now, if you look to the street on the to the left, both right and left of this house, is that King? Wait, which street is? I'm tired and confused. Or is that Taylor? I'm gonna tell you in a second because I'm just tired and confused. Okay, I'm not really confused. I'm tired. So again,
I hear you. I was up really late on a panel last night, and I'm off my schedule today.
Yes. So that just showed you this is 1112 King Road. Okay. And then there's the interior. And as you look through, just these windows here, and I don't know if this means anything or not, but you can see for sure that they have a nice floor and that certain rooms, have a direct view of 1122 King Road. So, a lot of people, including myself, I was just saying the other day, if there is truly, if what we know of what Dylan Mortensen told investigators is true, so far we only know of one true eyewitness. But in a situation like looking through these windows in these college houses, like this home particular, that often do not have window coverings, is it possible that there is somebody that we do not know about that saw something material from a window? So for example, if you look out this kitchen window in 1112, I have to count the ones on my fingers. I'm saying that.
I know it's not easy.
Yeah, King Road. You'll see. I don't know if I can make it any bigger for y'all or not. Here, let me do it through StreamYard. Just one sec. Let's see. That would be insanely. Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, for sure. Would be a lot more. Yeah. Hi Michelle. How are you doing? Thank you. Thank you so much for the comment on the video. I really appreciate that. Okay, so there's this. Okay, so if you're looking at this picture, and if you see out that kitchen window right there, you can see the like back downstairs deck that would be where the sliding glass door would be connected. And then if you look close, I don't know how you can see that if you're seeing this well through StreamYard, you can see the deck that would be off of Kaylee's room and a little bit of Maddie's room. So I think that's kind of interesting. Let's see. Oops, I'm pressing that screen. What am I doing? I'm being tired is what I'm doing. There we go. Okay. And then.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think it's, I just kind of made me reconsider the possibility that we don't know what everybody saw. Let's see. I feel like there's another one. There's some other things I'm going to be pointing out in different videos, but for right now, we just want to get the basic facts out. Okay, so that is that. So now if we take a look at the street view. I think I have to go. I'm not like totally versed with this with Trulia's website. Sorry about that. I just add it. Oh, here. Okay, so map. Okay, well, let's look at. Let's look at the map first. Oh my gosh. And I have another big. I mentioned this earlier, but I have another big piece of information that has to do with the map. That has to do with this case. It's extremely important, but very different from this that I'm working on right now. And it's just, I don't know. There's just, this case is, like you just said, this freaking nuts.
Yeah, I love it when things like this happen on a live. In a video, we can just cut it out, right?
Yeah, right. Jeez, crazy. Oh wait, hold it. What? Oh, I was actually that's so weird. That went to the video towards the other thing. Never mind. Okay. I'm just gonna have to look it up again. Here. I just want to show you one other thing. I'm probably gonna be getting going because I have to be at work at 7:45 and work with my students who are working on their behavior. That's what I do in my day job. I'm a behavioral therapist.
That's awesome.
It is. I love it. I love it. I'm very lucky. I mean, I love it. I love, having this YouTube channel. Very busy. I definitely don't sleep enough. Everyone tells me I work too much, but I love it. And I'm really lucky to love what I do. And I hope that y'all love what you do. And I know that not everyone does, but if you want a little side gig, you can help out a YouTube channel. Just get in touch.
Exactly. I'm looking for moderators.
Awesome. There you go. I know some people really love moderating. All right. So, oh my Lord, are you kidding me? Okay. The way that they blurred out 1122 King Road and everything is just so strange to me. I don't. Why did they do that?
Are you needing a photo of it or?
No, I'm not. No. I was just thinking about it as I was for something I was looking for that I was going to show everybody really well. A point I wanted to make, and I can't do it because of the blur. Maybe that's why, because people like me are doing stuff like that.
Yeah, there's I think 4 or 5 of the houses around there blurred out now.
I think they are too. This one was blurred out for a while too, which I think is interesting. I wasn't even going to, why did I do that again? I wasn't even going to
this
mention
one's
that.
definitely blurred out now on Google Maps.
That's funny, but and I know that it was at some point, and then recently it was not for a while.
Oh, wow.
So that's really interesting. Okay, so where you see the pin right there is the house that we're talking about. So when you're just looking at it from this angle, where you're looking down at the roof, like something that I took away. Yeah.
We're not seeing your screen, just letting you know.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you spoke up. Good Lord. See, this is what starts to happen when I get too tired. But here we go. Thank you. I really appreciate that you let me know that. I've gone on like that for a really long time before. And then I'm like, wow, I'm so sorry. I just wasted all the time. You couldn't even see what I'm talking about. Okay. So, oops, the pin just went away, but that's okay.
I do it all the
I
time.
can make my own pins and arrows, damn it. What's that?
I do it all the time.
Yeah, it is kind of easy.
Because you can't see StreamYard while you've got something else full screen.
That's
you know.
Right. Oops, see, I didn't even share. Jeez. StreamYard, you'd be throwing me for a loop tonight. Here we go. Okay. All right. So this is what I was talking about. So there is no longer an arrow on it. I'm going to make the arrow come back, or the pin. So where the pin is, you can see it now, correct?
Yes.
Okay, like kind of at least. Okay, so where the pin is now, you're seeing the roof of 1112 King Road. And for me, that kind of gave me an idea of like the footprint of the house is much bigger than I initially thought it was, for whatever that's worth. And I think that is valuable. And if I don't get tonight, I'll talk about it tomorrow or the next day, why that's valuable for specific reasons. And then over... Oh, goodness. Can you see my cursor as I move it?
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm doing with my cursor right here, if you can see that, I'm circling. Yes. Right? That's 1122. Yes.
It is,
okay,
yeah.
cool. That's 1122 King Road. I'm surprised because it was even blurred out from this perspective at some point. Okay. So that's why I'm always second guessing myself. So you can see that as far as just a footprint perspective, the 1112 actually has a bigger footprint than 1122, but we know that the 1122 house is set up in a way that's a little bit different, right? Okay, so now let's go down to the street view anyhow. Or maybe not. There we go. Oh, 3D view. Cool. It's not letting me do it. Oh, here we go. Street view. It's not even letting me do. Okay, sorry. I'm accusing it of doing things that it hasn't done. I'm sorry. You're innocent of my accusations. Google Maps. I'm sorry. I'm getting super loopy. I probably should go soon. Okay. Oh no, but that's not me going. Just hold on 1 second. Oh my gosh.
Are you muted? Callie.
So I think I'm back.
Yes, you're back.
I'm so sorry about that. Oops. I'm doubling. Hold it. Don't speak. Okay. All right, cool. Okay, so let me just bring that back in. So just a couple things really quickly so you can see the perspective if you haven't gotten that point yet. And then there's more goodies to come, and I'm just trying to kind of mentally go through. Did I know there's some points I missed. I send a quick text message and see if I missed anything from their perspective. Okay, so here's the street view. And now this house, okay. The house that you can see and I'm sorry, I can't really make it any better for you guys to see through StreamYard, but the house you see in the left field of this shot right here is the house. It's the same house that you were able to see from the perspective of standing on that porch of 1112 King Road, like in the video that Crime Sleuthin so generously allowed me to play. And I saw a lot of people commented like, oh no, y'all are mistaken. That is not 1122 King Road that you're looking at. Like the doors and the windows aren't in the correct proportion. But right, correct. And you're right, because what you're actually looking at is a house that's in the left field of this view here.
Yeah, that's another sorority house.
Yes. Yeah. Oops, I'm clicking on the wrong thing. Okay. YouTube. There we go. Ta-da. All right. So hi. So now still in your left field of view is a house that you're looking at. And I'm going to refer back to Crime Sleuthin, that still picture that few people have now. That is, as I shared with you earlier, it's legitimate. It exists, and that's all I can say about that. Now, if you were to kind of go to the right here, like past this little blue car, and then down the street here to the right, and I don't know if we can we do it? I'm not sure because of the restrictions they have on it.
Yeah,
you
can't go down that street anymore. They took all of that.
Yeah, you can't. I was in a program earlier where you could go down it. Darn it. I wish I saved it. Darn, man, that stinks. Because I just want, I think it's important certainly to understand the perspective and the dimensions. And the whole point of sharing this, guys, is not to just fill up channel time. It is to share information that it's real, it's accurate, it's legitimate, it has evidentiary value. And if we're going to be talking about this case, because obviously we are, because look what happens even when there is nothing new to talk about, right? I think it's really valuable to our community to have these real things to evaluate and analyze, rather than the forced content BS, in my opinion, allegedly. All right. So now we're going back to Crime Sleuthin's video. Can I make it any bigger? Nope, it won't make it any bigger. Darn you.
And just so you know, anybody's welcome to play my videos anytime. Just, do like she's doing and say where you got it.
Yeah, same. That's I
do that too. It's fine. Yeah. It helps each other. We're supposed to all, work together. And
absolutely.
Yeah. So I totally don't mind.
Yep. No, that's good. Thank you for saying that. And so now we're standing on that porch of the resident in question that does have that legitimate security cam footage that has some booms on it. One of them is that you can see the car that brings the girls home pass by, and then there's 3 more that are of evidentiary value, increasing in significance, that we will be talking about in the coming days. I don't know if the video, I'm not going to say anything more. I'm too tired to talk about this without messing up. So now the house that you can see, like right off, the stairways through that parking lot, is the house I was just pointing off. And I said, that's in your left field of view. It looks further away here than it actually is, but that's your perspective. I saw people commenting on your video or Melissa Jade's, and just like it is a little hard to get the perspective until you're really like looking at it for a long time. For some people, if you're not like spatially like adjusted. Okay, so then going back in her video, let's see what we got there. So again, that's just, well, what are you doing with these arrows here? I'm not sure what you're doing, but can you explain this here?
Back you do about 12 seconds and then just hit play. It explains it again.
That's right. Oh my gosh. Yep. All right. So I'm just going to play a little bit of your video here because you've got some good views. So I should have done this like 20 minutes ago again. All right.
That's a big one. This is going to be really important.
What's that? I just want to make sure.
That's me. That's actually me on the video talking. You're fine. I've got myself muted.
Kelly, go to bed.
Footage. If it's actually released, wow. So tell me what you think about that. I'm going to show you how figured out that it's legit. Now I got this from Melissa Jade, who got it from somebody else. She didn't say who. That's okay. This is the camera. Do you see it right above the officer's shoulder? That's the camera that this footage, or the still shot for now, came from. Take note of the pattern on the front, the 5 little pumpkins, and the view that the pumpkin or the camera is facing. This is the day of, on the 13th. Such a sad photo. This is another view of that same house. You can see it right there in the blue, the light blue house. As of that day, everybody nearby, it seemed like. I remember on news footage, everybody was packing up and hitting the road. It was a very scary time. So you can see the police officer down here on the corner. This is Queen Street. And the officer's right at the corner of Queen. You can also see the 1122 in the background, the taller white house. The blue house is 1112. That's where this footage is likely coming from. And then the red brick buildings in the back are the Queen Road apartments. Let me show you the next photo here. 1 second.
Just want to answer this question here. So, let's see. So Gail asked a question saying, if law enforcement is correct and the tragedy happened between 4 and 4:25, why does the 1:56 time matter? It's in the PCA. It's 4 and 4:25 or I'm too tired, but I know it ends in 4:25. So, well, it matters because, well, when it was repeated the most often, it wasn't the initial, and then the, going into the longer days of the investigation when, the families were really, searching for any kind of accurate information because there was no arrest made. And we all saw how it was hard to watch them like starting to feel like very desperate about that. But, it's so now there's an arrest made, and you may say, well, so then why does that matter? Well, I mean, for example, in this video that does catch, the driver who is a fraternity pledge, bringing them back to their spot at 1:56. It first of all, it verifies when you're creating a timeline, you can't just look at the very moments of the tragedy occurring. You have to look at the stable points where different sources of evidence can corroborate events happening before, during, and after a tragic event like this. So the fact that 1:56 time, well, and can be corroborated by a number of different sources is very important in stabilizing and validating the timeline. But then in another sense, just as far as the families are concerned, that might be the last time anyone saw, even if it was an image of them in a passing car, a likeness of their loved ones while they were still of this earth. So, I think for a lot of different reasons, there is great significance.
You can also note, before I forget, the vehicles are the same. Here, the black truck and the white truck are also in that nighttime photo. One moment. Okay, here's just a little bit more of a close-up at a different angle where you can see the little blue house with the 1112 with the 1122 King Road house behind it. This was the very next day on the 14th, actually. And if you look at the front, you can see what's missing. The camera is no longer there. You can see the same black truck parked in front. One moment, let me pull up the next one. All right, now just for further reference to see the two homes close together, the camera where this screenshot came from, where the footage is likely soon to be released or leaked, I should say. The camera's on the other side. This is the back of the home, and the porch and the pumpkins and everything are on the other side. All right, and this is a little bit of a different angle, so you can see the street. That's Queen Road, with, again, the back of the light blue house. Cameras are on the other end of that house on the front.
I just want to say to Teacher Shauna, my red flag alert goes up too when somebody presents something as fact. So that's why, I was explaining earlier, and I'm just going to briefly reiterate that, when I do have something to share on this channel that has been vetted, verified, whatever the case may be, and I fully trust with 100% confidence you through a different process of natural, revealing of information and evidence would come to the same conclusion, because what is just is. I make it very clear that this is one of the very few times and exceptions that I'm telling you that I wholeheartedly believe I have that information for you that does align with the word fact. But I think you should certainly question when people claim to have facts, especially when it's surrounding a case that is tightly guarded as this.
Okay, and switching back to the leaked screenshot of footage from 1:56 a.m. on November 13th, 2022. So you can see the front of it again, the view from the camera. Note the black truck, the white truck, stuff like that. It is the view from the camera. But where is the video footage? Okay, here I put the daytime one on top of the screenshot, so you can see white truck, and here is the black truck. So now we await the release of footage, and I'm very interested to see it. So what do you think about these leaked audios and videos and such? Do you think that they're being leaked or something, maybe by the defense? Or, I don't know. What do you think? Logically, you would think that it would be something to maybe get a narrative out there.
Yeah.
And I'm not really sure.
I'm really sure.
Linda Lane
not this one.
footage. As I've said before, the video appears to be completely legit on all of those 4 videos, maybe even the 5th. But the audio, nope. They played with that. Whoever released that played with that audio, in my opinion. The question is why, and what are we going to hear on whatever gets leaked,
Awesome. That was a great video. Thank you so much. I just want Gary, or wait, who said this? I'm sorry. I'm so tired. I'm sorry. I'm mixing up everything now. Gray Nicole, and welcome. How are you? Says Murphy was also very attached to Maddie. Family has shared the stories, and that is true. I saw some of you were saying you just hadn't heard the video or anything. That is true. Mrs. Gonzalez talks about that. I think a few family members talk about that, and of course, I did a video on that. It's somewhere out there. Let's see. Ethan's mom said 2 a.m.
Can I address something?
Sure, please go ahead.
Okay, in chat, somebody said, sorry. Okay, something about a scream heard at 1:56. That's what I addressed earlier about audio. of the previously leaked Linda Lane footage.
Mhm.
If I never hear Linda Lane or 11111 after this, it'll be
I
too soon.
know.
Okay, tongue tied. Okay, so again, the owners didn't change anything for sure, but whoever got the footage and got their hands on it to release it in these little leaked 1 hour segments, they likely messed with the audio because, as I explained earlier, I could do it. I could take a snippet of the Linda Lane footage and add a cat meowing in the background or screams at a certain time or whatever, and you really can't tell that it wasn't really in the video. All you have to do is insert it into your video at whatever time you want and then turn down the volume of that sound.
And something else that's important about that is that it's 111 yards away, the camera that supposedly picked that up. And
no, it's 220.
Oh, okay. Well, double that. So
Yeah.
it's a significant distance.
Yeah.
It's just very unlikely. I mean, I've heard, it's very unlikely. And it's unfortunate that somebody would want a sensation. With this case, when people start getting nutty with it, I'm like, why in God's name do you have to add horrific sensational details to this? The facts alone, and even the limited facts we know alone, or the limited information we are gleaning alone, is so sensational and horrific. And how much more twisted do you need things to get, for real? And to add sounds of people in a state of horror and distress in the last moments of their life is, I'm sorry, whoever did that, you are one sick motherfucker and you need to go get your head examined.
Yeah. I do know for a fact that the actual owner of the Linden Lane property, I spoke with them myself via email several times. They did not give away or sell the footage to anybody. They explained that it appeared to be kind of snuck from them when they allowed a certain somebody to view the footage.
Who did they let view the footage? Can you put in private chat, or can you say it?
I can't. Who got the footage?
Yeah.
Oh no, I can't say that here. No.
Oh,
I'll tell you private, and I will forward you the emails as well, so you can see them. Yeah, that
was it a creator?
Okay,
I think I know who it is. Was it somebody who had been in Moscow physically?
Nope. Oh. But they're. You remember you were talking about the creator agreement kind of thing?
Mm-hmm.
It's that little circle of people who are.
Gotcha.
Have that side. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Without saying too much. Yeah. But yeah, it's crazy. They believe that it was surreptitiously. How do you say that? I'm getting tired.
Surreptitiously.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Copied without their knowledge. And there's police reports and everything.
Wow. We definitely need to talk tomorrow for sure. I guess later today it is. And guys, so I just and I feel like I'm a broken record, but there's some things I think I just need to reiterate. Like on this channel is I don't like shining a negative light on any YouTube creators. Like, this is my community, and I appreciate what others do, whether it's similar, different, or whatever to what I do. And like I truly like to see and celebrate the success of others. Like, I that's just like how I am. It makes me uncomfortable to have to do anything but that. But
hey, Melissa's here.
Hey, Melissa, how are you?
What do you mean, girl? Please repeat what?
Oh gosh, girl, there's just too much to repeat. What do you need a specific?
But I'm reading her chat says, "Wait, please repeat that. I came in mid conversation."
Oh, well. But I mean, it's taken a lot of deliberation in my own mind, and me talking to, the guys from Idaho a lot, and one of the victims' families a bit, because I really care about what they think. It very much influences my decision. I have shared things and talked about things that I wouldn't have otherwise, probably, or, I don't just like say, oh, I'm just having this thought and it's negative or whatever about a creator, so I'm just going to throw it out there, that's not the case at all.
it's I might not say things right because it's uncomfortable for me to say anything other than, hey, you should go check out this creator, because that's what I really feel comfortable with and sincerely like doing. But if I am going to be presenting you content as the creator who I said, this is a one woman show on my channel, and I'm putting all this stuff out there, and I'm aware of certain information, whether it's exclusive to me or everybody knows or wherever the case is. And I know that you are being delivered something that for the purposes of manipulating you. I feel a responsibility to give you the information I have, so then at least you have it. And if you want to say, screw you, Watsy Obsession, you can go stick that up your ass. I'm still going to watch this shit. Hey man, it's your decision.
Right.
It's all good. But if I didn't share that with you so you could make an informed decision, I think I would just kind of suck. So that's kind of what it boils down to for me.
Let me clarify something that I said, because I kind of summarized everything together for sake of time.
Mm-hmm.
I emailed several times with the owner, and they, gosh, what does it say? I want to make sure I get it right this time. Hang on. Go to my email.
Yeah, Jeff H is awesome what he does. Thank you for the accurate information, Jeff H. You are freaking awesome. I appreciate it.
They said they only gave the original footage to law enforcement and didn't retain any copies. They have reviewed the footage with someone who may have done something nefarious when they allowed her to log into their portal, but they didn't give it or sell it to
her. Okay, so I know who it is. All right.
So I believe it to be stolen. They had reported some copyright infringements to YouTube in a privacy complaint. And they provided footage of people at the property, taking pictures and recording video to the police along with license plate numbers.
Oh boy.
So that's from the owner, and I haven't talked to him since. I haven't emailed him again since.
Wow, and people are going to all that trouble for the sake of presenting, for the sake of creating something that's not real to show you. And my gosh, everybody needs to be aware of that. So, so actually, I do have to get going very soon because it's later than I was going to stay up, and there's going to be more along these lines. I have to talk to those guys again tomorrow. We're texting a little bit now, and there are a few more things that I can or should be sharing, and I will definitely do that. And I'll try to bring as much I don't know, I hate saying receipts these days. It's corroborating information as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
And thank you so much. Moderators, always, first and foremost, you guys did a great job. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so super much. And everyone who's here watching the replay and live chat, members, subscribers, and Crime Sleuthin', thank you so much for coming up here and letting me play your video. Melissa Jade, we have to definitely talk tomorrow. And I know I'm missing people. Honey Bun was up here for a while. I didn't even know what happened because my computer's being really crazy today. But I appreciate all of you and respect your opinions. And I really do just personally want you to get honest, correct, truthful, accurate, reality information, so you can make your own decisions, because everybody has the right to do that.
Well, thank you for having me. I was so surprised when I came over here to watch. I saw the video come up, and I was like, wow.
I was looking for you to ask permission first, but I kind of talked to you a little last night, so I sort of had a feeling.
Yeah.
Hey, Grace, how are you doing? I sort of had a feeling you were going to be okay with it. So.
Oh yeah, anytime. Yep, I share nicely. I was a good girl in kindergarten. I learned.
That's awesome. I can tell you are. And everybody, check out Crime Sleuthin' channel, Jeff H's channel, Melissa Jade's channel, Ara. Who am I missing? Oh, I'm so sorry. I know I'm missing people. Just chime in if they're a channel that we've already mentioned as being an awesome channel, because all these different perspectives of good information, or like Jeff H, people that can do things use their skills to do things in a really talented way that shows you something that I wouldn't be able to show you because I don't have the skills that he has. That's a really awesome thing about this community, and I very much appreciate it. And, hope you guys take advantage of it all.
Absolutely. That was good. That was really good. Well, thank you. I'm going to hop down so you can say bye to everybody. Thank you so much again.
I very much appreciate you as well. And thank you for coming up here.
Oh, you're welcome.
And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow for surezies.
Absolutely. Yeah. Send me an email. I'll talk to you later.
Awesome. Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. So I will definitely, what is today? Wednesday? I'll probably be doing a live again, either Friday or Saturday. And again, I have another, it is a big thing that I'm working on. So I'm trying to get that out too. In a way where you're not like, what? I don't understand that. Or is that for real? So doing it in that fashion takes a little bit of time, but it'll get there. And I didn't get to as many comments in chat this evening as I usually do. But I appreciate y'all being here. You just can't hit everything in one live stream, right? So please, on your way out, hit like. If you're not subscribed and you think you might want to come back, I'd love for you to come back. So hit subscribe. And if you hit the bell for notifications, you may or may not get them. But if you email me at wattsobsession@gmail.com, I try to send out an email reminder at some point before live streams. So if you really would like to check them out live and be part of the chat and the discussion, just shoot me an email and I will add you to my list. Okay. So everyone, please be safe. And most of all, be good to yourself because you deserve it, because life is hard. And thanks for being here. This is Kelly from What's the Obsession. Thanks for taking time to watch this video.
There are more answers than you know.
I'd like to take a moment to thank all of the channel members. I appreciate you guys so much. If you'd like to become a channel member, the link is below. And to everyone in the live chat tonight or watching the replay, thank you so much for your support.
Each had multiple stab wounds. Some had defensive wounds, showing they fought with the attacker. And there was no sexual assault. County Coroner Kathy Mabbutt is describing the murders as personal.